Hello everybody, my name is KevinMad095, and in today's Destiny 2 video, I'm going to be reading some subclass lore about the warlock subclasses. Let's begin. The space between defines the shape, the rest before the note, the breath before the word, the blank space on the page. A chill hit the air, and I looked up from my studies. There was a stillness, an uneasy calm before the storm. An ambush awaited me. Of that, I was certain. No time to wonder how my defenses had failed. No time to ponder how they had found my hidden library in the first place. I had only just lifted my eyes from those insightful words on the void. Now, I'd have to take my first steps upon it and hope I didn't fall right through. "Seize her," the marauder leader thundered. Through every window crashed enemies intent on my destruction. Time stretched out before me. With a thought, I was at the center of the fray. A gaping, celestial maw drained the life from them. I found my footing. The power of the void was manifest. Yet, this was not its full nature. The next instant, reality snapped back to its traditional rhythm. I was alone once more. The intruders didn't even have time to comprehend their fate. I was barely more enlightened than they were. Yet I had gleaned one fundamental truth. A step upon the void is a step upon that nothing which can bear the weight. Here's what Osiris says about void.
Void is the element of cosmic distortion. It is the pull of gravity and the promise of entropy. The vacuum of space and the gravitational forces that shape it teach us that emptiness is not nothingness. In Ikora's words, to wield void is to draw strength from both the immeasurably small and the unfathomably massive. With it, we bend the very fabric of space-time.
The first day I called the storm was an end, the end of a journey, the summit of a mountain. But when you leave the mountain, you don't take it with you. How would I maintain the profound insight from the eye of the storm that unlocked my direct line to the hurricane? Tempestuous peace, the calm in the storm. Where do I begin? Questions rained upon me as I tried to put my thoughts into practice. The acrid stench of radiolaria reminded me that training was over. Was I ready for this? Did I have a choice? Beaten, bloodied, I stared into the empty faces of my enemies. They were fearsome. They had taken much from me. But I have seen that which lies amid cacophony. Courage. The courage to face the torrent. To proclaim peace in the face of violence. Courage is the only call that the storm will hear. It cannot ignore me. Thunder rumbles and lightning strikes. Wind blows and rain pours. My enemies are no more. But peace never left me. Here's what Osiris says about arc.
Arc is the element of motion and conduction, and is created when the electromagnetic forces of our universe struggle to achieve balance. According to Ikora, arc teaches us that change is a fundamental aspect of the universe. To wield it is to ride the storm of the unguessable.
I first heard it in the thrall-carved tunnels on Callisto as I saw light torn from my friend, a chaotic chime like breaking glass, ringing in the corners of my mind. I ignored it then, and burned the hive vermin with vengeance and fire. But it returned when Gaul's wicked contraption gripped the traveler, and the light fled from my bones. A cold chorus in my ears, a shattered song demanding to be heard. I clung to it then, shivering in the rubble of the last city. It drowned out the marching of centurions and focused my will to survive. It was in the shadow of the pyramid on Europa that I finally understood. What was noise became a chilling harmony born of dissonance, a structure I could finally grasp. I joined the song, and as my voice perfected the chord, my hands gripped a staff of ice, chaos given shape. It sealed my hands in rhyme, and the song resonated through my flesh. I was its instrument, and it was mine. When we sang, "Be still," to the world, it would obey. Here's what Osiris says about stasis.
Stasis is the element of will and control. It slows, detains, and shatters. It was our first step into darkness, and taught us the universe is not as black and white as it first seemed. Elsie Bray and Eris Morn have slightly different interpretations of how one masters this element. Fitting, as Stasis thrives on individual will, but merging their thoughts gives me this. Control over the self can foster control over others. But without power over the self, destruction runs wild. When we wield Stasis, we must exercise the ultimate authority over both self and others.
Rise. Closer, closer to the sun. Your life shall be restored. The three shall be as one. Dash. Swiftly, swiftly as the light. A scorched earth lies below. Foes flee from the light. An incandescent ray. Behold the mighty way. Rise. Closer, closer to the blaze. My wings shall never melt. They're already aflame. Here's what Osiris says about solar.
Solar requires us to both exploit and rely on the power of our sun. But to master it is to understand the star's duality. The nuclear force that scorches anything foolish enough to draw near is the same force we harness to heal. It feeds the flora of our galaxy, just as it begets drought and famine. Destruction and recreation are a necessary cycle.
If it's an army I want, it's an army I get. Little friends on demand, allies on speed dial. No accomplice is more loyal than the one I pluck from the sprawling weave of the universe. Am I my creations? I fill their minds, though I remain undivided. I feel their movements and their pain, yet I stand still, unharmed. The sensations of manifestation are odd. I understand where my body begins and where it ends, but the lines are now stretched, as if I am wound into the very air around me. The strings of my will extend in every direction, and when pulled taut, the puppet master begins their show. Here's what Osiris says about Strand.
Strand is our newest foray into darkness. As I understand it now, it is the elemental manifestation of psychic connection. All minds are connected in a web of consciousness which we can now see and feel. To wield Strand is to pull on the hidden connecting threads and to use them to create, manipulate, and unravel. I had assumed this element would behave similar to our other darkness ability. But unlike Stasis, mastering Strand seems to require one to relinquish control, to embrace the connecting threads and perhaps flow with them. I look forward to experimenting more with this new element.